Hello everyone, I'm coming to you with another successful trader interview. Today I'm interviewing Daniel from Canada, who managed to pass our funded trading test in just 1 day. So we've just given him his live trading account. We're looking forward to seeing what he can do with that. He has a more aggressive trading style, and we're going to get a bit of an insight into how he trades, how he managed to pass our funded trading test, and some hints and tips that he'll be able to give you. So hopefully you'll enjoy. Daniel, welcome to this interview. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us, and congratulations for passing your funded trading test. We're just going to have a quick 15-20 minutes and talking about you, your trading styles, try and give people some insight who may be interested in passing funded trading tests as to sort of how you did it. You don't have to give all your secrets away, but just some general trading tips and things like that. So tell me a little bit about yourself anyway.
Well, I'm Canadian, as you can probably tell. I talk a little funny, but yeah, I do renovations, and trading is a hobby that I really, really like. And yeah, I'm a husband, and I have 5 kids.
Wow.
That should have been the first thing I said.
Goes without saying.
Yeah,
Keeps you
but
pretty busy then. So
yeah,
how long have you been trading for then?
about just over 6 years, but it's more of a hobby now. It's becoming more real. Yeah, it could be. I'm hoping it'll become more than just a hobby. So yeah.
What got you into it?
Actually, cryptocurrency. I got into cryptocurrency back in 2016, and I
Okay.
started trading. Well, that's not true. I've been around trading my whole life. My dad was a stockbroker,
Okay.
so way back in the 70s, I used to watch the ticker go by, and I used to go with them to work and stuff. And my aunt and uncle were
So
traders too.
it runs in the family almost then.
I guess so. I've stayed away from it, but yeah, I couldn't stay away from it forever, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's always an element of attraction for it. And I think cryptocurrencies have certainly got a lot of people sort of interested in the markets. What made you come to us anyway?
Well, I looked at a lot of different prop firms, and I tried some different ones too, like tried the challenges and stuff, and did fairly well. But I like the fact there's a couple things. There's no minimum. Like one of the prop firms I was doing, there was a 10-day minimum. So even though I got the percentage in 2 days, I had to trade for an extra 8 days. So I just go make a trade for a buck or whatever. And it was just, yeah, so it took a month. And this I did in a day, because you can take as long as you want, or you can go as quick as you want.
Yeah,
So yeah, that
I
was,
think you've hit the nail on the head there. Now, because I did a lot of funded trading tests myself, so what you tend to find is if you do have these firms with minimum days, you just make your profit target, then you just open and close a minimum. If you're on the futures, a micro, or if you're on a CFD, or a micro CFD, don't you just open and close it to get around it? And it's just like, what am I waiting for? I've done that as well. So, the minimum just seems pretty pointless to us. We want people to be able to, I guess, trade sort of how they want. Obviously, you're a more aggressive trader. You're looking to pass very, very quickly, whereas other people may be a bit
yeah.
more conservative. But it's just about giving people the sort of freedom to trade how they like, if you want, in that respect. So how do you sort of trade then? What's your sort of... I say you don't have to go into specifics and give away your secrets, but
Yeah.
what sort of strategies do you like? What sort of markets do you trade?
Yeah, so I started with Bitcoin. I didn't even know the word cryptocurrency at the time. Then I was introduced to Forex pairs a few years ago. And then I started with the Euro USD and got into Great British, the pound, all the pound pairs, because they're more volatile, they're more aggressive. Then I found metals and traded gold. And and then I found indices, and that was it. I don't go away from indices now. So and then from indices, I got the Dow and the NASDAQ and the SPX. I stay in the middle, right in the NASDAQ. That's one of my favorites.
Okay, yeah.
And I still trade Bitcoin, because that's the first thing I ever learned. So yeah, I trade Bitcoin and NAS.
Yeah, it's interesting. We see a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Nasdaq volume going through the books, and I mean I'm a big fan of the Nasdaq. I don't trade as much crypto, but yeah, the Nasdaq is one of my favorites. I think it's when it starts moving, it moves really sweetly, doesn't it? You can get onto some trends. Very volatile at times, particularly at the moment, as in January 2022, the market's very volatile, so you've got to be careful. I mean, the Nasdaq is obviously just selling off at the moment, which it hasn't done possibly since after the coronavirus. But yeah, if you can spot the trend on the Nasdaq, then you can make some serious money. Of course, double-edged sword. If you get on the wrong side of it, then you're in pretty dire territory. So, what are your future plans and goals with trading then? Where do you see yourself moving forward from here?
Right here. This is where I want to be. And I just got my live account. Thank you for that. And I just got the details. I'm pretty excited. So it's kind of like a video game. I want to go up in the levels. So I'm at
Okay.
level 2 and level 6 is that $1 million account. So I'm shooting for that. I want to just cruise up the levels.
Yeah, so some people do. There's different options. You can try the scaling plan, or you can just trade your account and withdraw. Just about trying to give people that flexibility. But for me, I always say to people when we have the conversations, look, there's no rush. Just take your time. You don't need to make all your profit in a day or a week, or think about. Particularly in January, it's appropriate to think about the whole of 2022. Try and visualize where you are in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, if you like, and try and get, because it's very hard, particularly as a day trader, as I think we both are. You can just really get sort of stuck in that moment, can't you? And forget about there's 200 trading days a year, whatever it is, and people really do that. So, what would you say your best trading experience has ever been? It can be a single event or something, whatever you feel your best trading experience is.
Yeah, this has been a learning experience for 6+ years, and I just know a little bit. I have so much more to learn. But during the last 6 years, there was a time when I doubled. I'm an aggressive trader, and I doubled an account in just over 24 hours, and I was like, "This is incredible, right?" But being that aggressive, I had to learn some other things about risk management and being able to take a loss. That was really hard for me at first,
Yeah.
and now I can take losses. But yeah, that was one of the best experiences. The other one was just on Friday when I was able to get through the evaluation and the assessment for Funded Trading Plus in one day. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. I just went with the trends, and it was like I was in the zone. Some days you just get in that zone,
Yeah.
and it's like you just know what's going to happen. And that was
Yeah,
one of those days.
yeah. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just get a feel for the market, don't you? I mean, people. I mean,
Yeah.
we offer 1 to 10 leverage, and sometimes people are like, well, that's not much leverage. It's like, well, people still pass in a day. It's like you don't need 100 leverage or more. The reason firms
No.
give you that much leverage is because it's easy for you to blow up. You don't need huge tons of leverage because if you've got 25, 50, or 100,000 buying power, and that leverage goes far. It's only when you've got very small accounts that leverage limitations are there. So it's a message that we're trying to get across to people is, you can still make strong returns even with relatively limited leverage. You don't need huge leverage because there's a cause and effect relationship between more leverage and more accounts blowing up. That's why in Europe, you probably won't know, leverage was greatly limited on CFDs because the more leverage brokers were giving people, the quicker people were blowing up and losing their money. So it's just the reason they put
Exactly.
that step in place. But you're a demo, you're a perfect example that you can still trade aggressively, you can still trade higher risk if you like, if that's your personality, if you've got the appetite for that. So I'm glad we've got a mix of different people passing in that respect. What would you say your worst trading experience is?
Oh man. Well, during the time of learning, being an aggressive trader, it cost a lot of money to learn how to do this. And there was a time when I was swing trading, which is not my style. It's not very good. And yeah, I was on the drawdown roller coaster for probably 3 months. I had my phone right next to me when I was sleeping. I'd be getting up every hour, 2 hours to see if I had to get in a trade or get out of a trade. It
Yeah.
was a nightmare. Yeah, it was not fun. So now I don't do drawdown. Like, I don't want any trades at the end of the day. I want to be able to sleep. That's just my style. There's obviously
I
different
mean,
styles, but
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, that's part of the discovery process, isn't it? It's a case of
yeah,
we've all been there. I mean, mate, and as part of finding your trading personality, I think you all go through that stage where you're so intense of it, and you think more is more, and sometimes more is less. Where you're trading more, you're holding overnight, you're getting up, checking your phone. And we've all been there and done that. And as much as intraday trading might not suit people, some people like I'm the same. I like to be flat at the end of the night and over the weekend, and then you can switch off, can't you? It's like if some horrible news happens overnight or over the weekend, you don't worry about it.
no
So,
problem.
so that's
Yeah,
one of the big advantages, isn't it? You can actually get a good night's sleep rather than worrying about it. If not, you really have to lower your risk levels. I mean, even then, going back to I remember a trader we worked with. He was a good trader. He had some really good long exposure on the FTSE, the UK market, but then the Fukushima power plant happened in Japan, and it just went poof. I think that was over the weekend. It might not have been, whatever, over the news, and it just gapped down massively across the world. So you're in the game long enough, you're eventually going to get that black swan event, aren't you? It's just the nature. I said this the other day when I was interviewing someone else. It's like the Russian roulette. Even if you've got 1,000 chambers, eventually you'll find it. So, yeah, being an intraday trader helps, I guess, negate that in some respects. That's one of the pros to it. What would you do in a typical trading day? Describe a typical trading day for me.
So normally, like Friday, I was day trading. That was a long day for me. I don't normally do that, but you just know when you're in the zone, and I was in the zone. Normally, I trade for about 10 to 15 minutes a day, and that's it.
Okay.
I go for 1 to 2% of my account. And it's when the NAS opens, when it's very volatile, I go for my 1 to 2% and I'm done in 10 to 15 minutes. That's a normal day for me.
If you're enjoying this content, guys, and you want to join a growing funded trading community, then our Discord is linked just below in the description. We'd love to see you in the channel. Come and interact, come and say hi, and we'll see if we can help you a little bit with your trading. Okay, yeah, it's interesting. So we've got a few traders in our trade room who are like that. They trade the US Open, which is 14:30 GMT, and it's 09:30 Eastern. And we have people who do log on, probably 20 past, and then they try and have a look for the Nasdaq. Is it gapping? Is it near a support level, or any of the methodology or strategy? And then they will identify that, if you like. I mean, what sort do you trade? Reversals, momentum? Do you use technical analysis? What is it you do?
Trends. Yeah, I mean, there's no time to do much technical analysis, but I will. I'll look at the daily, right? If I'm going on the 5 minutes, I mean, you can do support and resistance, but it usually doesn't matter when the market opens. Throw that out the window. So I'm looking for mainly the overall trends, and then I go in there. I figure out, which way are we going, and then I go for it. But I wait for entries. You got to be patient, and you wait for that entry. Even though I pick buys or sells, and then I wait for the entries, and then I just go for it. Yeah.
Well, that probably leads on to some of the final questions then. So what advice would you give to an aspiring new trader?
So obviously there's different personalities. So something that be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. There's always more to learn. That's one thing I love about this. It's like chess, right? You're never, you're not the best chess player in the world. There's always more to learn. And there's always more to learn here. Just take it easy. Don't get in too much risk right away. Use a demo account. Definitely start on a demo account, right? Because you need to learn the software for one, but then you don't want to risk real money until you feel confident.
Yeah, I agree. You need the phase one is learning the actual mechanics of buying and selling, making sure you've got that competence. Because the last thing you need when the market's open is not understanding your software. I think that's a really good point. And it is. You're basically saying, take your time with it. It's a complex, like I say, chess is a good analogy because it's a complex skill. And there's also that ever-going sort of continuous improvement, road to mastery, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, people, and I discuss this regularly, people treat trading quite differently. They open a trading account, they think they're a trader, which is madness. It's like, you can give 1,000 analogies. The pilot one's the obvious one. You don't sit in the cockpit of an aircraft and think you're a pilot, do you? You have to learn. So it always strikes me as crazy. Maybe it's because it's so deceptively simple trading that people think, they can just pick it up straight away. But I don't know. It's a conversation for another day. Have you got your top three tips then for people passing a funded trading test?
For passing
or just trading in
test.
general, just 3 things you would say.
Tips.
Yeah.
So I mean, start on a demo account.
Yeah.
It depends what level they're at, but make sure your risk management is really important. No matter what personality you have, make sure your lot size is correct. I don't know. Be patient and learn. Find a mentor. Find someone that you can learn from, and just be a sponge because there's so much to learn.
Yeah. No, no, I totally agree. I mean, the risk management point's key because the golden rule is live to fight another day. You know, even if you have
Yes.
the worst possible day imaginable and the market's beating you up or you're having a bit of drawdown, then make sure you're still in the game, you know, surviving the next day, the next week. And if you do that, you know, you've got that foundation, haven't you, where you make it hard. You need to make it hard to fail before you can succeed. So it's just like, it's almost like covering a bit of a negative area, but people need to learn that, I think, is you need to make it so it's hard to fail before you do anything else.
And one of the things I had to learn was don't be afraid to take a loss. Like if it's going the wrong way, I'm very competitive, so I didn't want to take a loss, and
Yeah.
because I thought that was weakness, but it's
Yeah.
a strength. It's a huge strength.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Yeah, it's trying to reframe it as not right and wrong. It's not wrong to take a loss. It's just, you know, again, the analogy used is it's a cost of doing business. It's like if you own a restaurant, you have to buy food in order to then make profit. It's an expense. Whereas in trading, you have to take losses in order then to have the winning trades to win. So it's just trying to get that mindset shift of all the sort of psychological complications that come with losing. But yeah, if you have that competitive win or lose, almost egotistical aspect to it, competitive aspect to it, which we're taught in so many areas of life, then it definitely hinders you. So yeah, if you can take a loss, you can. That again, it's about feeding into that, trying to make yourself so it becomes very hard to fail. Risk management, staying in the game, taking a loss, and then you're setting those foundations up that you can actually go on and succeed.
exactly. And then it's just getting more wins than losses. That's what it becomes,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah, definitely. I mean, it obviously depends on your average loss and average win, but yeah, a lot of traders I know prefer to be positive win percentage traders, including me. I'd rather have losses and wins about the same and more wins, whereas very few people can do sort of, I don't know, 30% wins, but much bigger winners than losers. But it's all about, again, as you've spoken about earlier, individual personality and things like that. So yeah, well, it's been really nice chatting to you anyway, and just getting a different insight of someone who's more aggressive at trading and trades for a shorter period of time as opposed to everything. It's just about getting a range of views, a range of different passes, and yeah, congratulations on passing. And obviously you've got your live account now, so we look forward to hopefully paying you out some profit, having you grow, and of course, if there's any help or support you need, then you're more than welcome to reach out to us. So yeah, well, thank you very much, Daniel. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. It's been a
Take
pleasure.
care. Thank you. So thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful in your own trading journey. If you have any comments, then do leave them below. Please subscribe to our channel and have a look at some more videos that we have for you.